In this second death match, we have from the left side the most dangerous shinobi ever. This is one who is highly versatile in various forms of martial arts and ninjutsu. He is the one, the only, legendary Uchiha Madara. And coming from the right side, the one who in his world is known as the strongest man alive. He was second in his era to the Pirate King Goldie Roger. He is none other than the Yonko, Whitebeard Edward Newgate. Let's begin. Yo, man, this is one, to say the least, most anticipated, most debated, most wanted to see death matches ever. People. I remember my early days of getting into the anime and manga community, right? Like sometime last year, this year, something like that. Everybody's talking about this. Everybody want to see this match up. This freaking Madara versus Whitebeard. I mean, you got two epic old dudes. You have two of the most powerful dudes ever to exist in their world, in their universe. So you can't be surprised. I mean, and they're so cool. They're so just badass. There's so much greatness about these old gents. Now, as I did, and I will provide the link to my first death match. Monkey D. Luffy versus Uzumaki Naruto. Yes, that, and you will see the results. You may or may not agree with that one. You may or may not agree with this one. But I will break this down into 3 categories: attack, defense, and strategy. And each of those categories will be broken down into subsections, subcategories. Now, let us begin with attack. We shall break it down into 4 subcategories: strength, speed, techniques, and destructive capacity / power. Now, as far as in strength, let's look at Madara. Madara is physically powerful. If you watch episode 322, when he first was introduced onto the battlefield of the 4th Great Shinobi War, supposedly 4th Great Shinobi War, but besides that, once he came onto the battlefield, he just wrecked shop. He was grabbing fools, tossing fools easily. Other shinobis, no problem to him. He's physically a monster. Everybody knows him as physically a monster. Okay? When I'm talking strength, I'm talking just raw physical strength, raw physical prowess. You know, he was easily able to lift up dudes. Now, mind you, with Madara especially, I actually had to do some serious research with him and what he was capable of, because there's a lot that he's able to do. So I wanted to make sure I properly depict, so no bias is involved in this. Anyways, with Madara, he is definitely, you could argue to say, superhuman in his physical strength. Now, with Whitebeard is a giant of a man, period. I know he stands easily over 7 feet. Is he 10, 20? I forget how tall he is, but he's huge. And physically, he's just massive. He looks like a manly man. Even in his old age, he just built, bro. I mean, the fact he's got the title of the world's strongest man, that's just not from destructive capacity. That's from the very fact of his physical prowess. I'm pretty sure he earned that title. You look what he did in Marineford. Yeah. So as far as in strength, I gotta give the edge to Whitebeard. You know, even in his old age, Whitebeard is just a monster. Both of them are monsters in their own right. But I'm talking about straight physical strength, straight raw, because Whitebeard's character is based off of raw physical power. So I gotta give it to Whitebeard. In the speed category, we see with Madara, he was just zipping past once again, shown on the battlefield. He just freaking was past everybody. no problem. These shinobis were not even a challenge to him. He was taking on several shinobis like that. Boom, 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 boom. Hit, 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 hit. Continual hits. He took out freaking thousands easily. He handled the Kages easily. 5 Kages easily. I mean, shoot, with his techniques, he's so fast. And when you also consider him, how he was relatively on par with Hashirama, arguably the second most powerful shinobi ever. I'm not excluding, you know, what people are calling the mock sage of 6 Paths, Obito Uchiha. His powers are, no, we're talking about Sage of 6 Paths, and we're talking about Hashirama, and we're talking about Madara. The fact that Madara was pretty much on par with Hashirama, that's a telling sign. Now, when we look at Whitebeard, like I said, his character design, his whole character premise is built on raw physical strength. We know, as far as in speed-wise, we never saw it. We never saw it, whether in a flashback or even in the Marineford War. I know he was old and a dying man, but even in his prime, I'm not sure how fast. I knew he probably could move quickly, but I gotta give this one to Madara. Hands down, I gotta give the speed to Madara. As a shinobi, as a ninja, you would expect him to be quicker, and especially the fact that he just pretty much pwns everybody in the speed category. Gotta give it to Madara. So we're tied 1-1 right now. Now, as far as in techniques, this is where I really had to do more research about Madara. When Madara, dude, fire jutsu, wind jutsu, hold on, wind jutsu, yes, at least we saw in an anime, you know, earth jutsu, dog is fire, wind, water, earth, wood jutsu, wood release jutsu, which he got because of Hashirama's cells in his clash with them when Hashirama went for the kill shot, but Madara survived because of the cells. We also know that he has yin, yang, and yin and yang jutsus. The fact that he has the freaking Sharingan, which turned into the Mangekyo Sharingan, which turned into the internal Mangekyo Sharingan. The fact that he has the Rinnegan. Okay, he's the only one besides the Sage of 6 Paths to actually be able to naturally get the Rinnegan, at least that we know of. The fact that freaking his taijutsu, you know, his hand-to-hand combat is excellent. We have this freaking, his swordsmanship, just excellent. You know, masterful. The fact, different forms, you know, the shurikens, all of them, the kumo. He can use pretty much everything in the shinobi arsenal easily, effortlessly. Now, anything else about the only jutsu he doesn't have that we know of is the lightning jutsu. That's crazy. That's just crazy. He's pretty much, you know, pretty much demigod. He's a demigod. You should put it that way. He's a demigod. Now, at least in the shinobi world, can't say god because I consider Sage of 6 Paths at that level. He's demigod level. He's right below Sage of 6 Paths. Now, when we look at my bad, Whitebeard, slipped my mind for a second. When we look at Whitebeard, he has the Gorgo no Mi, okay, the Quake fruit. He pretty much controls vibrations and shock waves. He uses a Bisenko, and I looked this up. Bisenko, it's pretty much a Japanese or Chinese pole arm. It's this long kind of bladed staff, okay? And we obviously know he uses he actually has all 3 forms of hockey: observation hockey, armaments hockey, and conqueror's hockey. Now, when you look at technique wise, gotta give to Madara. When you look at comparison, just all of what Madara can do, all of what, not knocking Whitebeard, but when you look at straight techniques, gotta give it to Madara. It's not even a question. Now, when we look at destructive capacity, here's one of the most interesting things in this bout, and here's where it makes it, you know, where a lot of people, again, you heard all of that I mentioned with Madara. He's above the current Kage's level easily. I mean, he brought down meteors. Leisurely. So pretty much 2 meteors, literally. So pretty much we don't know what he's fully capable of. He could potentially wreck at least a lot of the planet, if not the whole planet. So I mean, his jutsus are powerful as hell. His fire jutsu, oh my gosh. He's, you know, he got the wood style. He could create whole forests like that. Wood whole forest, sprout that like that. His wind, he is a massive threat. That's why he's the most dangerous. And why is he the most dangerous? Not just because of what he's capable of, but the fact that he doesn't care. He follows his own ideals. He does what he wants. Now, as far as him with friggin' Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, Sengoku, the Golden Buddha, when he was Fleet Admiral at Marine Fort, he said he had the capacity to destroy the world. I believe that. I truly believe it. Some people say, oh, it could have been figured out. No, I believe what Sengoku said. Why do I believe that? For 3 reasons. Well, 4. Number 1, he was the second strongest of the golden era of pirates, the golden age of pirates. Okay? Right behind Goldie Roger. Number 2, he casually, it took him a bit of effort, but it was rather casually that he tilted freaking oceans. He tilted a freaking ocean. We see that, and he was old and dying. We see the fact that doggone Blackbeard, Marshall D. Teach, just getting the new power, like probably what, 40 years younger than Whitebeard? Because Whitebeard was 73 at Marine Fort. 40 years. Blackbeard just got it. When he got the Gorgo no Mi from Whitebeard, he took it after Whitebeard's death, just causing havoc. Whitebeard could have easily, very easily destroyed Marine Fort, but that was all that was going on. Freaking brought up tidal waves like nothing. So yes, I do believe he could have destroyed the world. And the very fact is, the fact that I don't know if Madara can destroy the whole world, even as powerful as he is, I have to say with destructive capacity, power, straight power, I have to give it to Whitebeard. So right now, it seems we're 2-2. Whitebeard got the strength category and he had the destructive capacity category. You look at Madara got the speed and techniques category. Now with defense, we are breaking it down into reaction time, into durability, into stamina, and into agility. Now with reaction time, this is one of the most interesting points of this battle, because we have Madara with the Sharingan is able to predict, considering that the likelihood of Whitebeard having chakra, that's negated off the rip. Oh, and I forgot when I mentioned destructive capacity, the Rinnegan has some beast things, but again, I don't think they overweigh the destructive capacity of being able to destroy the world. I don't know if Madara's planetary level. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Anyways, with reaction time, the eternal Mangekyou Sharingan allows pretty much precognition. You can pretty much predict moves. Body, not total like foreseeing future kind of stuff, but he's able, off the basic twitches of the body, Madara is able to see what you're about to do and capitalize on it. So he pretty much knows what you're about to do. He can manipulate you into, doing what he wants. You understand what I'm saying? There's so much he can do with the Sharingan. The fact that's just beastly. Now with the reaction time, we obviously got Whitebeard. He has observation hockey, and here's to showcase how beastly he was. Now you would think Armaments hockey or Conqueror's hockey, they were probably more of his focus, but especially Armaments hockey, I would take. But with the observation hockey, the fact that he never got a scar on his back, everything was in front. He never got hit in the back at the war ever in his life. That's what they say, ever in his life. He was never hit in his back. That's a telling sign. So, with reaction time, as crazy as this is, because of the fact that Whitebeard, you would normally think, oh yeah, Uchiha Madara easily has this. No. The fact that Whitebeard, and plus 73, he's been in many battles, I take it. Many battles, very experienced in the New World. New World ain't no joke, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that all that happened, the only time, you know, he took direct hits from, you know, cannons and whatever. But, you know, Squall, the only person who got a real hit in on him was Squall, because he trusted Squall. That was it. And he was okay with it. You look at it, I have to give him even. I have to say the reaction times are even. Or relatively even. It's too close to call. Now, with durability, we look at Madara, you know, we look at him, the fact that he has Senju DNA, Senju cells now within him, is the, you know, longevity, okay? Obviously, he freaking took a fatal blow, but because of Hashirama's cells, was able to live a long time. He was able to use, you know, was it the King of Hell? It was the King of Hell, the Demon, I believe it was the King of Hell, one of those things as a life support technique, okay? We see the fact that now he's Edo Tensei, okay? And when you consider all that into play, you know, with the reanimation jutsu, he has some regenerative capabilities. When you consider all of that, and the fact that he was constantly at war since a child, he took hits, he was good. He was good. He has very high durability, very high. When you look at Whitebeard, the dude got hit. Dude, I forget. I probably should have looked it up. But y'all, if you saw the Marineford War, he got hit with guns, cannons, freaking. He went to battle with the admirals. He freaking swallowed straight. Didn't kill him. He took freaking Blackbeard's whole crew at the time to off him. That's a lot of hits. He's durable as hell. So once again, I have to, and you, this may be controversial, but I since it's so damn controversial, I say even. I'll just leave it as even. So right now, pretty much they're even. They're pretty much even, which should be expected of these two legendary figures. Now, what is it? Stamina. Stamina is huge. You look at Madara. He is known, even amongst some of these legends, he's known ever since a child that his chakra capacity is just extraordinary. That's all you really even need to say with Madara. The fact that he can continuously attack thousands easily without nothing. I understand he was Edo Tensei, but it doesn't matter. Easily attack thousands of shinobis without a problem. Thousands of shinobi without a problem. That I think that's a telling sign. You know, his stamina, he can use consecutively different jutsus, no problem. No problem. Now we look at Edward Newgate. We didn't unfortunately get to see him use his ability much because he couldn't go all out, obviously. But I will take in consideration that he has high stamina. He does. And the reason I say that, you know, he's a Yonko. He was able to fight no problem. Easily keep up with dudes who were of admiral level, no problem. So with the stamina, again, leave this up to your discretion. I'll say even. A lot of these with the defensive category is very hard to determine because we've seen stuff from them. Actually, no. Let me scratch that. I will actually give that to Madara. I will give the stamina to Madara. Now that I think about it, I'm talking about stamina, the will to stay. I will give that. I understand Whitebeard was old when we saw him, but still, I will give it to Madara. I believe Madara potentially could outlast Whitebeard. When we're talking about agility, this should be an open and shut case. It's Madara. Why? Sharingan, ninja. You know, he's a shinobi. He freaking Whitebeard. We've seen not really anything. It was straight power. I mean, we didn't see him have to use agility much. So obviously it goes to Madara. So right now, after consideration, Madara does have the slight edge because of defensive capabilities. Now, when we take into strategy, I'll break it down into 3 parts. Location, fighting style, and fighting IQ. Now, with location, obviously, as a shinobi, Madara has the advantage in closed areas. Because shinobi are trained in stealth. That's obvious. Madara has fought in many battles, on the battlefield, so he's adapted to, whatever. Now, Whitebeard would obviously be at a disadvantage in a forest area, for example. But again, since he's highly experienced, he's fought on ships and stuff, he would be able to adapt. And obviously with observation hockey, that would help him out. But if it depends on the location, with location, I would have to give the slight edge, because also Madara isn't, you know, he's fought in different areas. So I have to give the edge to Madara, because I'm also taking into consideration what they're capable of, and the fact that Madara can freaking produce a force like that. That's a huge advantage. Huge advantage. You know, even with the Quake fruit, where you can just rip stuff apart, Madara can freaking produce force like that. Now, when we take into consideration fighting styles, again, I had mentioned Madara's taijutsu, his ninjutsu. He can use genjutsu, okay? The fact that he is well versed in unarmed and armed combat. The fact that his ninjutsu is at the top tier level. When you look at, he can practically do it all. Okay, his martial arts is outstanding. He can do it all. When we look at Whitebeard, he's shown that he can do some hand-to-hand combat relatively, with enhanced with his power, especially with, you know, Conqueror's Haki enhances that, as with, especially when he did Armor's Haki with Conqueror's Haki against Red-Haired Shanks. He can show that he can hold his own and relative swordsmanship. So with techniques, with fighting style, I'll say even because they're both skilled swordsmen, obviously, and the fact is both their abilities are quite OP, overpowered. So I'll say fighting styles are relatively even. It's up to, again, the viewer discretion on that one. And when we talk about fighting IQ, both of these men are intelligent. Obviously. They wouldn't be who they were or not. I mean, do we really have to speak about Madara? If you don't know anything about Naruto, Madara Uchiha, man. Uchiha Madara. This dude is definitely fighting genius. I mean, he, to me, what I know, is the third on my list. I mean, there's Goku, there's Monkey D. Luffy, and then there's Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara, even since a child, he was able to pick things up. Madora's getting on this list too, but another point for another topic. Anyways, Madara, his fighting IQ, he's tactical. He, you know, he's quick to discern. You understand? He's able to figure out an opponent's weakness like that. So, I mean, all those things into consideration. When you look at Whitebeard is a veteran of war himself. You understand what I'm saying? Whitebeard, he has that general mindset as well. He was able to, you know, direct troops. He knew when to jump into the battle. You understand what I'm saying? He was able to control a large, arguably the large area in the New World post Goldie Roger. So when I'm taking into consideration, I do actually, even though Whitebeard is an experienced fighter and whatever, he a lot of times use his capabilities to be about peace. Madara wasn't about that peace. Madara was fighting for most of his life, you could say. You could say after, you know, his clash with Hashirama, he lay low, but whatever. I do have to give the edge to Madara. So overall, who do I give the winner of this epic clash to, this monumental clash, this just beastly clash? I gotta give it to Madara. Uchiha Madara. Now, some of y'all, you know, you might be Whitebeard fanboys. I don't know, don't care. But at the end of the day, when I look over the stats, I mean, they were pretty much even in the attack category, which makes sense. But when you take into consideration that Madara, you know, they're pretty much even in reaction time and durability relatively, but doggone agility goes to Madara. You give his stamina, his chakra levels off the Richter. I mean, you take into the fact that he can produce a freaking force like that, and you take into the fact that his fighting IQ is off the charts. You take all these things into consideration. I have to give the edge in the battle to Uchiha Madara. And the fact that although Whitebeard, he will kill, Madara will kill. There's no second guessing what Madara will do. If he needs to off you, he will off you. Period. Kage's, he was willing to off him. Now things happen, but whatever. He will off you. He'll bring out more meteors on people. No qualms. So that killer instinct's heavy in Madara. Heavy in Madara. You could almost say he's ultimate warrior status. Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me y'all thoughts. Now I know this video was long, but this was a serious breakdown I had to do. The fact that I don't want to be accused of bias. I'm not even a Naruto fan. I'm a One Piece addict. But when I look at the stats, when I look at the logic and reason behind both characters, I cannot help but come to the determination that Uchiha Madara would beat Whitebeard. Now, for those disclaimer, I love Madara, but he's not one of my favorite characters ever. I love him as a character, but he's not one of my favorite characters ever. Just throwing everything out there. Alright, y'all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. Tell me y'all thoughts, please.